Be me, 29M, high-performance systems architect for a Tier 1 fintech firm. My life is a masterpiece of efficiency, a perfectly calibrated machine. Every calorie accounted for. Every minute of sleep stage-tracked via Oura Ring. Every micronutrient balanced through quarterly blood panels. I don't just live, I operate. Most people are running on legacy hardware with bloated software. They are biological drift, random inputs, chaotic outputs. I have transcended that. I have hacked the source code of the human condition. My apartment is a sterilized white box of productivity. Air purifiers in every corner running at 99.97% HEPA filtration. Circadian lighting systems that shift from blue-white to amber based on solar positioning. No clutter. Clutter is cognitive friction. Enter Chloe, 27F. She was my outlier, a kindergarten teacher. Soft edges, warm laugh, chaotic energy. When we met 2 years ago, she was a biological disaster zone. Irregular sleep patterns. Diet consisting of 60% processed carbohydrates. Chronic dehydration. Relied on feelings rather than data. But I saw the potential. The raw hardware was excellent. Good genetics, symmetry, high emotional intelligence, useful for social smoothing. She just needed a firmware update. I needed to optimize her. It wasn't controlling. It was benevolence. Why let someone you love run at 60% efficiency when you can get them to 95%? I took her in as my primary project. Project Symbiosis. The first 6 months were a detox phase. I purged her kitchen. Threw out the pasta, the sugary cereals, the seed oils, especially the seed oils. "Why are you throwing away my Nutella?" she asked, eyes wide. "It's sludge, Chloe. It's literally inflammatory sludge. I'm saving your mitochondria," she pouted. Classic withdrawal symptom. Dopamine receptors screaming for their cheap fix. I replaced it with MCT oil and macadamia nuts. Eat this. Sustained energy release. No crash. I synchronized our sleep schedules. Tape over the mouth at night to force nasal breathing. Blackout curtains. Room temp set to exactly 65 degrees Fahrenheit. She complained she was cold. Cold thermogenesis boosts metabolism and deep sleep, I explained. Just wear socks. She resisted at first. Called it intense. But then the results kicked in. She lost the bloat. Her skin cleared up, thanks to my heavy metal detox protocol. She had more energy. "I do feel better," she admitted one morning, sipping the green sludge smoothie I prepared. Spirulina, chlorella, lion's mane mushroom, raw liver extract. Tastes like swamp water, performs like rocket fuel. See? I smiled, checking her sleep score on my dashboard. Data doesn't lie, babe. You hit 2 hours of REM last night. That's a personal best. Feltgoodman.jpg. I was literally extending her lifespan. I was building the perfect partner. A power couple 2.0. We didn't go to movies. Sedentary consumption of blue light and propaganda. We went to biohacking conferences. We did cryotherapy sessions. We spent weekends doing high-intensity interval training followed by infrared sauna sessions. I curated her information diet too. Blocked the gossip sites on the router. Subscribed her to podcasts about neuroscience and stoicism. Why can't I access TikTok? Algorithmically designed brain rot. I said. It shortens your attention span. Listen to Huberman instead. She seemed happy, or at least she was compliant. She was functioning at peak levels. The glitch appeared 4 months ago. Subtle at first, a variance in the data. Her heart rate variability, HRV, started dipping. Cortisol spikes in the mid-afternoon. I confronted her with the charts. Your stress markers are elevated between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. What is happening during this window? She looked shifty. I don't know, work is just crazy, the kids are loud. Plausible. But the data prompted an investigation. Then she mentioned the food truck festival. The school was hosting a fundraiser. I have to help organize it, she said. I might be late coming home. Make sure you pack your meal prep, I reminded her. Do not eat the street food. It is poison. I know. Grass-fed beef jerky and almonds. Got it. She came home that night smelling like smoke, hickory, sugar. Meat, not the clean, sous vide, unseasoned meat we ate. Dirty, caramelized, charred meat. You smell like carcinogens, I noted, standing in the airlock, entryway. Just the smoke from the trucks, she shrugged. I didn't eat anything, but her glucose monitor showed a spike. A massive, jagged spike at 6:30 p.m.? Explain this. I pointed to the graph on my tablet. Blood sugar 160. That's a glycemic event. I had a soda, she mumbled. I was faint. I needed sugar. A soda. High fructose corn syrup. Liquid death. I lectured her for 45 minutes on insulin resistance and metabolic flexibility. She just stared at the floor. I'm sorry, she whispered. I won't do it again. I forgave her. Relapse is part of recovery, but the behavior continued. Late nights, planning meetings, parent-teacher conferences. She started looking different. Less sharp, softer, but also happier. She was humming around the apartment. She stopped complaining about the mouth tape. She seemed distracted. Then I found the receipt, crumbled in the pocket of her eco-friendly hemp jacket. Big Bubba's Barbecue and Rib Shack. Order: the Widowmaker platter, ribs, brisket, pulled pork, mac and cheese, cornbread, and a large sweet tea. My hands shook. This wasn't just a cheat meal. This was biological terrorism. This was a suicide note written in cholesterol. I looked up the place. 2.1 miles from her school, owned by a guy named Bubba Miller. I found his Instagram. Oh, God. No gym selfies? No inspirational quotes about grinding? Just pictures of meat. Mountains of glistening, sauced, fatty meat. Pictures of him holding giant fish. Pictures of him drinking beer. Not low-carb craft IPA. Cheap domestic lager. He was huge. Not aesthetic muscular. Just large. A barrel of a man. Beard like a bird's nest. Wearing stained aprons. Caption: never trust a skinny chef. Come get some lovin'. Lovin'. Disgusting. He was the anti-me. He was entropy personified. A chaotic biological system running on grease and vibes. I confronted Chloe immediately. I laid the receipt on the stainless steel kitchen island, next to her ration of supplements. What is this? She froze. It's lunch. This is not lunch, Chloe. This is enough calories for 3 days. This is a Widowmaker. It's in the name. They are mocking your mortality. It was delicious, she said. Her voice was weird, defiant. Delicious? Taste is a chemical trick to get you to consume energy. You are smarter than your taste buds. Maybe I don't want to be smart, she said. Maybe I just want to be full. You are full. The nutrient density of your diet is optimized to... I'm not full, she shouted. It echoed in the minimalist apartment. I'm hungry. I'm always hungry. I dream about bread, Anon. I dream about butter. We eat grass-fed ghee. It has a superior lipid pro. I don't care about lipids. She was hyperventilating. CO2 tolerance clearly degraded. I met someone, she blurted out. The world stopped. My heart rate monitor beeped. Spike detected. Who? I asked. But I knew. Bubba, she said. His name is Mike, but everyone calls him Bubba. The barbecue man? I scoffed. The obese man who sells poison to the masses? He's not obese. He's solid. He's warm. He's comfortable. Comfort is the enemy of progress, I recited automatically. He listens to me, she said. And we don't talk about sleep scores. We don't talk about ketones. We talk about life. He makes me laugh. I make you optimal, I countered. Does he know your vitamin D levels? Does he know your genetic predisposition for Alzheimer's? I am saving your life. You're controlling my life. I am optimizing it. He let me eat a biscuit, she was crying now. A warm buttermilk biscuit with honey. And he watched me eat it, and he smiled. He didn't ask about the gluten. He just said, good, ain't it? He is feeding your addiction. He's feeding me, she said. She went to the bedroom. I thought she was going to the meditation corner to recenter. She came out with a suitcase. I'm leaving. You can't. We have a cryo session booked for Saturday. It's non-refundable. I'm going to Bubba's. You're going to live with a man who probably has sleep apnea? You will ruin your circadian rhythm. I hope so, she said. I hope I sleep in until noon. I hope I eat pancakes. I hope I get fat. That is illogical. Goodbye, Anon. She walked out. I checked the hallway camera feed. A truck was waiting outside. A rusted, lifted Ford F-150. A monstrosity of inefficiency. Bubba got out. He was wearing a shirt that said meat sweats on it. He took her suitcase. He hugged her. Not a side hug. A bear hug. He lifted her off the ground. She buried her face in his flannel chest, probably inhaling fumes of hickory and unwashed man. They drove away. I stood in my perfect apartment. 68% humidity. Air quality index, 0. Silence. I looked at the dinner prep. Steamed broccoli. Poached chicken breast. No salt. I sat down. I ate the chicken. It was dry. Texture like wet cardboard. But the macronutrient profile was flawless. I went to bed at 9:30 p.m. sharp. I taped my mouth. I didn't sleep. My Oura ring told me the next morning my readiness score was 34. Catastrophic failure. The next month was a blur of data collection. I needed to prove I was winning. I doubled down on the protocol. Started taking experimental peptides. Extended my fasting window to 20 hours. I looked shredded. Veins popping out of my forehead. Eyes manic and clear. I was a god of productivity. But my apartment felt sterile, like a hospital waiting room. I checked her socials. She had blocked me on everything. But Bubba's profile was public. Of course it was. Privacy is for those who understand data security. I scrolled. It was a horror show, a montage of gluttony. Photo: Chloe holding a rib bone, sauce on her cheek. Caption: My girl loves the baby backs. She looked heavyset? No. She looked soft. She wasn't glowing with the translucent pallor of fasting. She was flushed. Photo: Them at a baseball game. Drinking beer. Eating hot dogs. She was wearing an oversized jersey. Smiling so hard her eyes were closed. Photo: Sunday morning. Pancakes. A stack of pancakes. Syrup dripping everywhere. Chloe in the background, hair messy, wearing one of his giant shirts. No mouth tape. No Oura ring visible. Just pure, unadulterated chaos. I zoomed in on her face. No cortisol stress lines. No dark circles. She looked rested. How? It defied physics. It defied biology. She was consuming poison and thriving. I posted a thread on /fit/xgf left me for a low-T beta slob. How long until she crashes? The responses were supportive. She's gonna hit the wall hard, bro. Give it 6 months, the inflammation will catch up. You dodged a bullet, she has weak discipline. Focus on the grind. King. I felt validated. I was the superior organism. I went to the gym. PR'd on my deadlift. 495 pounds. Felt like my spine was going to snap, but form is secondary to output. I was winning. 6 months later, I saw them. I was walking out of the biohacking clinic, IV vitamin drip day. They were walking into a diner across the street. I shouldn't have looked, but I did. Bubba was holding the door for her. He looked the same. Big. Bearded. Happy. But Chloe. She was pregnant. Visibly. Undeniably pregnant. She had one hand on her belly. She was laughing at something he said. She looked radiant, not optimal, not efficient, just alive. They sat in the window booth. I watched from the street like a ghost. The waitress brought a milkshake. 2 straws. They shared it. Bacterial cross-contamination. Sugar spike. Dairy inflammation. It was disgusting. It was beautiful. I looked at my reflection in the clinic window. Gaunt face. Hollow cheeks. Skin tight against the skull. 4% body fat. I looked like a preserved corpse. A highly efficient, perfectly preserved corpse. I had optimized everything. My bank account. My blood work. My sleep stages. I had removed all the friction. All the unpredictability. All the mess. And in doing so, I had removed the life. Bubba didn't have a 6-pack. He probably had high cholesterol. He would probably die 10 years younger than me. But he was in that booth, sharing a milkshake with the woman I loved, creating life, while I stood on the sidewalk with a bag of supplements in my hand. Alone. My watch buzzed. Time to hydrate. 500 milliliters water plus electrolytes recommended. I stared at the notification. I looked back at the window. Chloe leaned over and wiped some whipped cream off Bubba's nose. She kissed him. I felt a pain in my chest. Checked my watch. Heart rate, 110 BPM. Cortisol spike detected. Breathe, the watch commanded. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds. I took a breath. It tasted like city exhaust and loneliness. I turned around and walked home. I had to prep my meals for the week. Efficiency is the only thing that doesn't leave you, right? Right? Sat on my ergonomic chair. Opened the spreadsheet. Entered the data point. Mood, suboptimal. Stared at the cursor blinking. Blink, blink, blink. Just like a life support machine. I am the healthiest man in the graveyard.